Hello Beauty News family, welcome to this week's episode of the Makeup Breakup. This is a series where we destroy makeup for fun and sometimes to learn something. We upload new videos every Wednesday, so if you want to see more, don't forget to smash that subscribe button before we smash a really expensive eyeshadow palette. Cringe. This is the Natasha Denona Tropic Palette. There is a bit of, well, actually a lot of controversy around this palette. When it was first shown, before it was released, we found out very quickly that the weight of these pans was 1.5 grams each. Natasha Denona's original weight of her pans in her standard palettes, so her really large palettes, her 5-pan palettes, everything in between, has always been 2.5 grams of product.
Now, the weird thing about this is the pan sizes look like they're the same. And she did say that this was the formula, the traditional formula. So theoretically, it should contain the same amount of grams as her other palettes if the pan size is the same. But she came out to say that it's new ingredients and they're more lightweight, which explains the 1 gram deficit per pan. Now, we kind of think it might have just been a mistyping on the palette, on the packaging, and she's rolling with it because I can't see how this is going to be a gram lighter, but that's what we're testing today, as well as the fact that a lot of people are having issues with this new formula that was supposed to be the same as the old formula.
Yeah.
Also, from the reviews I've seen of this palette, a lot of people are saying that they love Natasha Denona formulas and this is different.
Yes.
The mattes are different, the shimmers are different. So we're going to look at the weight, but we're also going to compare the formula to past palettes and some of the tricky shades that are showing to be problematic. We're going to see that what it looks like swatched before and after repressing. So, you know, if you're having problems with the palette, if you maybe repress it a bit lighter, you get rid of some of the oils in there from using rubbing alcohol, will that make it easier to apply?
First thing we want to do is talk about the formula. Now, on the Tropic palette box, there are 6 different formulas listed across all of the shadows in the palette. However, on the Natasha Denona website, they list 4 different finishes of eyeshadow. Now, what we can take from that is some of the matte finishes and some of the metallics and the shimmers, while they have the same finish, they have different formulas.
Another thing that's interesting about the ingredients, generally eyeshadow palettes or products that have a similar base formula but different colors, they list the same ingredients because they can just say may contain and list the colors or the pigments. The fact that they have to have separate listed ingredients means that they're wildly different from each other. And these are all wildly different from past Natasha Denona palettes as well. Yeah. The original large palettes, these are different too. The Lila palette, these are completely different too. The only ones that have some similarities are the 5-pan Christmas palettes that came out last year. And there are some shades in here that sort of have similar ingredients to some of those shades.
Some similarities that we found was Gusty in the Tropic palette is similar to Red Bronze in the Heiress palette, as well as Sangria in the Tropic palette is similar to Burnt Terracotta in the Heiress palette. Now, the formulas aren't exactly the same, but they are similar. When we look at the Joya palette, we've got Exotic in the Tropic palette and Peach Gold and Red Grape are supposed to be similar.
So that's where I think that she's saying that it's like it's the same as their old formula, because they've just taken a few from holiday palettes and tweaked them slightly, but the majority of this palette are completely new formulas. One thing we also noticed when we were looking at different formulas of different eyeshadows, it seems like Natasha Denona, whenever they bring out a new eyeshadow collection, it's a completely new formula to the one before. So the first ones that came out had a lot of talc, and then they changed that. And it's just, everything seems to be, they don't stick to the same formula, they just always change it. So even though you might have loved the old one and this one might disappoint you, all the other palettes in between are very, very different.
Natasha Denona got herself into a little bit of warm water, let's call it, because it did blow over quickly, and this was to do with when the Natasha Denona palettes were first brought to market. Talc was listed as the first ingredient on, I think, all of the shadows, or most of the shadows.
Yeah.
And Natasha came out to say that when a product is manufactured in Europe, if it contains talc, talc must be listed as the first ingredient. We did our research on this a long time ago. It's bullshit. It's straight up not factual. And something that supports that many years later is the fact that this Tropic palette does have an eyeshadow in it that contains talc, and it is not listed as the first ingredient, and it is made in Italy.
Yeah. So instead of admitting that talc is a cheap ingredient, but she's using it because it works well in the formula, she makes up a lie about, or a white lie, or whatever you want to call it, about where it was supposed to be placed due to laws. And same as with this palette, I think it was a packaging mistake, and instead of admitting that it's a packaging mistake, she's now saying, oh, it's new lightweight formula. Now, we'll see. We'll see, Natasha.
Yeah, we'll find out. We'll find out the hard way. On the back of this pan, there are little dots. And they're just little holes that you can pop something through to push the pans out. So we just used a bobby pin. Nice and easy. Whoa, fuck me. Look how messy that is back there.
Yeah, it's really weird, isn't it?
Focus. It's really messy.
Maybe that's where the lost gram went.
Maybe. Here are our 5 shades. We've got a metallic, a shimmer, a duochrome, and 2 mattes.
Creamy mattes.
Creamy mattes.
Yeah, we decided to pick these because they look like fun shades, but also this Tiger Lily shade, people are saying it's the worst performing out of the shimmers, so we really wanted to see if this changes when you repress it.
Yeah.
There's 4 finishes in here, and we've got the 4 plus an extra creamy matte. We just thought, yeah,
5 is a nice number.
Yeah, just add in another creamy matte, see if they're different, but yeah, that's a nice sampling of the palette.
Alright, so here are the shades we have from our Joya Holiday palette. We're using the first 3 shades because they're all different formulas. We've got a duochrome here. This is a CP, which is meant to be a cream powder formula. So
sure, whatever.
We're pretty interested to see what happens there. And this one was a metallic. And the reason we're repressing this one is because it's actually broken and it falls out of its pan. Yeah. So we want to repress that one to fix it anyway. And
to point out as well, these are lightly used. We're not going to buy 3 new palettes just to test these. But you can see the pan sizes are
exactly the same.
So that's
exactly
interesting.
The same.
All right, so we've picked 4 shades out of this bigger Natasha Denona, the green-brown palette, I think it was. This is like the old school formula. We've picked some shades that aren't heavily used so we can get more accurate weight. This one's called Tropic, so it's a nod to the video that we're doing. But also we've picked, once again, a different one of the 4 finishes in the palette. So we've got 3 different samplings of different palettes, and we're picking all different formulas to test their weight. You can see definitely the pan size is exactly the same across all 3, and these 2 claim to have 2.5 grams, 1.5 grams. We'll see.
So something that I noticed straight off the bat, just picking these up and weighing them, this one here is so heavy. Like, you can feel the weight in it. This one, like, there's nothing to it. And same with this matte. So I'm kind of wondering if the reason that they've marked it as 1.5 gram per pan is because the lightest matte is only weighing just a little over 1.5 gram.
Doesn't look too bad. It's not that bad.
Looks alright.
I've heard some really bad reviews of these.
Yeah. This one feels a bit more powdery. Whoa, that's not very good.
That's an old formula though.
Yeah. I'd be annoyed if I paid $129 for that. Oh wait, I did.
I'm like, be annoyed. That a lot of people are saying is very powdery. You can see it straight away. It's
just
super
like,
powdery. But nice pigmentation.
Yeah, not bad.
Not that bad.
It's not bad. Alright, we're going to do some brush swatches. No primer, dry skin.
Ooh,
yeah.
That's why people have been complaining.
Yeah, I can see why people are pissed about that. I'd be pissed too.
And it's already starting to seal.
Yeah. So hopefully you guys can see. Oh, Kat will get us a nice shot. The pan is sealing on this shade as soon as the brush went in there. And even when I was swatching it with my finger, you could feel like it felt very silicone-y. So yeah, I'd be pissed off. I would. And I can respect that other people are annoyed by that as well.
$129.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should not perform like crap. Yeah, that's rubbish. Do you want some glitter glue?
Yeah, I would like to try it over glitter glue. Alright, we've got the baby. This is one of our all-time favourite products, by the way. Too Faced Glitter Glue Primer. I'm just going to take a teeny tiny bit and I'm going to pop it here. And I'm going to swatch over it. And if this does not help, then I'm sorry, but the shadow is lost because
it can't be helped.
Yeah, this stuff is magic. So even then, like, I think what the problem is, it's going on better, looks patchy as hell, but we can build it up. I think what the problem is that it's not picking up on the brush properly. So
or it's not transferring from the brush onto the skin.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's picking up on the brush well. You can see how much pigmentation is on there, but it's not, it doesn't transfer well.
But you can
get there.
With effort.
Fucking excuse me while I spend 20 minutes doing my eyeshadow. Fuck man, that colour's magical. Yeah, glitter glue's amazing, but I will say this. I don't think that the eyeshadow itself is great. I think there is problems with it. You can see it sealing there.
And look how much product you needed to use.
And look how much I needed to use. It's all stuck on the brush. It didn't transfer well. I had to go over it several times. It's problematic. So I can understand why people are frustrated. It is a chunky monkey.
But once again, you can get it on there and it works.
Yeah.
Oh, there's flakes.
Yeah.
But that's very similar to her very, very chunky metallic eyeshadows in the past anyway, though. So
you can see, like,
you don't need glitter glue for that.
No, you don't need glitter glue for that. That'll build up on its own. That is fucking woeful.
Does it actually have a duochrome to it at all?
This is meant to be a duochrome.
Yeah.
If it is, I don't see it.
It's just a shimmery.
That's really, what even is that?
Much better.
That's better.
So it definitely needs a glitter glue.
Yeah. Glitter glue helps that, but I feel like it doesn't quite translate on the skin, does it?
No, but I also think you shouldn't need glitter glue for just a standard shimmer.
100%, I agree. Say it louder for the people in the back. That is super powdery, but let's get on with it.
Super powdery, but
look,
blendable.
No, it's fine. Yeah. I think it's quite nice.
And with a normal primer, that'd be fine.
With the normal primer, that'd be nice. It's gone on evenly. With no primer, with a pretty, not pretty, but a nice blending brush, that would go on beautifully. For your destruction pleasure.
Oh, yes. It's like a sea monster.
Wow. Colour's so pretty. Fuck, that's so pretty! So, the metallic blue, it held at 2.10 grams for quite a while, and that means it was exactly 2.5 grams of product in the palette, or in the pan. So, yeah, I don't know what the fuck they're doing, but let's move on. Oh, Oh, look at the chunks. The chunks.
That will be good to repress as well.
Yeah, it will. That'll be so nice. Ha. So we knew this was a fatty. This is a 2.73 gram pan of product. So there's a lot of product in there. I ask again, what the fuck you doing, Natasha?
They did make lightweight mattes.
Yeah, really lightweight mattes. Not surprising. Mattes are typically lighter because they don't have those like metallic pigments which naturally weigh more.
But the difference isn't usually that much.
No, I don't know.
Not a whole gram difference. So they definitely are lighter.
Yeah, and clearly some of the mattes are extremely light.
Yeah.
And maybe that is why they've marked them, like they've lowballed the weights. But
just to cover their asses.
Yeah, but I don't know why they wouldn't just put it down as an average weight.
Like average 2 grams per pound or something.
Maybe we're not weighing the whole palette, so maybe there are mattes in there that weigh even less, and like it wouldn't average out to 2.5 grams, but I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Mm.
All right, let's get into the Joya palette shades.
Nice.
Fuck man, that is so nice. Okay, so that is not 2.5 grams, that is 2.09 grams, so...
And that's been used once.
Yeah.
And swatched once by us. Oh no, but that doesn't count. We weighed it before.
Yes.
It's been used once.
So, that never contained 2.5 grams in the first place. Thanks, Natasha.
Oh, look at that!
Wow, so this is the creamy powder formula. I see why they call it creamy powder.
It's like a foam. Bitch,
please get out the way. Look at that. That's sick.
It's like a mousse.
It's a little bit like Colourpop, but drier. .15, so that's under again. I think we're starting to get answers to our questions.
Yeah,
are you feeling me, internet? Fucking hell. Here's how we destroy this one. I'm going to use my fingers. Are you ready? I've never done this on Beauty News before. That's why we chose this shadow.
All right, we're starting to get answers. And I think we've discovered Natasha's dirty little secret.
Yes.
She probably changed the weight on the Tropic palette because these palettes never contain 2.5 grams of product per pan.
Yeah.
And maybe someone found out and she lowballed and, you know, to be safe, put 1.5. But I'm actually shocked that the price of these, you're getting a lot less per pan than what it states on the packaging.
Now, the 2.5 grams may have come from the original palettes, which we will get into.
Yeah, they are heavier.
We've got some shades here, so we will weigh them. So maybe that's where the weight came from originally. It just got carried over, and then eventually someone might have called her out on it, or even someone on her team might have gone, you know what, we haven't addressed the weight in a long time.
Yeah, or they introduced a lighter formula mattes, which they are lighter formula
they
mattes.
Are.
She wasn't lying about that.
No.
And maybe they thought, okay, it's time to reevaluate the weight, but...
Yeah.
That's an issue.
If you own this, it never weighed what it was meant to. So, soz.
Soz for your loss.
Definitely under. There's no way Kat has used...
No, I think if I've used that shade, it's probably just to swatch it.
Yeah. So, that's definitely under. Please be soft and squishy. No. Such a disappointment. These are much firmer.
These are the talc ones, the talc-based shadows.
Oh, these are the shitty ones.
Well,
mate.
not shitty. They
no,
but the ingredients probably not as expensive as you expect from an expensive palette. But
yes.
Oh, 2.59 grams.
Excellent.
So
all right.
We've hit one.
We've got one. That's good. .85 grams. That's a hefty little eyeshadow right there.
That's the heaviest one
that we've weighed.
That we had. Yeah.
2.82, that's a lot.
So I think they got their original weights definitely from their original palettes with the old talc formula.
Yeah. And
then since that, they have been going lighter and lighter.
Yeah.
But not disclosing it.
So what did we learn?
So we learnt probably two things. One, Natasha Denona isn't lying when it comes to talking about a lighter weight formula.
Yeah.
Because the mattes are definitely softer and more lightweight than the other shades.
You can simply feel it just by holding the pan in your hand.
Yeah.
So
that's the truth. But what she's not telling you is that throughout the palettes, the shadows are becoming increasingly lighter. And so it seems like at least her holiday palette and possibly other palettes on the market never contain 2.5 grams per shade anyway.
Yeah.
So, you know, some of these the metallics did contain 2.5 grams. So it seems like the heavy metallics do, but some of the other formulas that they've been working with over the years haven't been. So
I guess it depends how you personally feel about it. Do you want people to be 100% transparent and do you want to know exactly what you're getting? Or do you not care? As long as your pans are the same size.
Because they are the same
size.
They
are the same size. So by volume, you're getting the same amount of product.
Yeah.
By weight, it's different.
Yeah. And if you're not upset that this one is slightly less weight than that one, does that mean that you shouldn't be upset that this one is a lot less weight than that one?
Yeah.
Like it just...
Yeah.
It depends.
It's going to come down to how people personally feel about this. And also, I think because Natasha verbally spoke out about this, you know, it's so easy to, if you're upset by it, there's literally someone to lay blame on.
Mm-hmm. But also saying that the formula hasn't changed since the classic.
Yeah,
is bullshit.
It's a lie.
That's a lie.
But we
itself.
know that she's lied before.
Yeah, there's truth and lies here. Some people will be disappointed knowing that this doesn't contain the same amount of product, but some people will be happy knowing that this contains the same volume over all the palettes. So it's just how you see it. But it is a weird situation, and we can definitely confirm that some of these formulas, you just have to look at the ingredients to see that they are different from this and different from that, and some of them don't perform very well at all. So I can understand why people are a little bit disappointed in the Tropic palette.
All right, we're going to get into repressing. We are only going to repress one pan just to show you guys how it goes. We'll do the rest off camera. Alright, so here are all of our beautiful pans. Everything repressed fairly nicely. Two issues we ran into. This one here from the green-brown palette actually changed colour, like completely.
First time we've ever
changed
seen
colour.
that.
I've never seen that happen before. Fascinated, can't wait to see how it dries. And this one, which was the cream powder formula from Joya palette. That kind of turned to shit when we added alcohol to it. So we've just sort of put it back in there. We're going to let it dry for a while and then we'll press it with a tissue.
One last thing we want to note is that these were really full.
Yeah, they're like overflowing.
Whereas the lightweight mattes, if you press them quite firmly and they're like you make them more dense, they're like not as full as they used to be. So definitely less product.
Yes.
Less density in there.
We're going to take these away and dry them and come back and swatch them for you. So here's a palette a few days after repressing, and most of the shades repress quite nicely. So Sahara is looking great, no cracking, it looks all good. We've got Limoncello, another one that looks really nice, held up quite well, along with Xena. These look like they've coped fantastically.
Xena barely looks repressed at all.
I know, it looks really good. I feel like the only thing that sort of gives Xena away is the little dustings of limoncello on the top. Then we've got Tiger Lily, and this is something's wrong with this. The formula looks like it's cracking in the center of the pan, so I don't think that one's gonna last. I do think that shade will eventually crack completely over time, but it is quite oily. We'll talk about that more when we swatch it. Finally, we have Mint Frost. This one looks really good as well. Good thing about these sort of like chunky metallic shimmery style shades, they repress so well, so that should hold up perfectly. We're going to do some swatchies. So we're going to do them in the same order. We've got the same brushes, all that good stuff. I'm going to go in with Tiger Lily first. Finger swatch.
Bad.
It's very bad. It's just straight up bad.
Yeah, it's like it's sealed up and it's not behaving.
It's.
Did we want to try it over glitter glue again?
I think we should. Yeah, may as well. It doesn't look like it's picking up quite as well on the brush. Wow, that is that's even worse. That is even worse. Look at that. That is so bad.
I guess it's one that we're going to have to use wet.
Yeah, I reckon. Glitter glue primer again. Yeah, it's really not picking up as much product. Oh wow, it's just sad.
Don't repress that shade, guys.
Yeah, don't. Wow, we're just going to be here for a while.
Yeah, that's absolute garbage.
Nah, it's really bad. I'm not even going to, like...
There's no point.
There's no point. I'm just going to have to speed through it. This video is already going to be so long. It's like, it's a waste of time. You can see Tiger Lily is just... Don't fuck with Tiger Lily, okay? If you have this palette or you're thinking about buying it, make sure you've got a kick-ass primer and use it that way. Build it up, the end. Alright, next we've got Mint Frost. And that swatch looks similar. Let's see how it applies with the brush. We didn't use a primer, glitter glue primer. It's not.
We did have to build that
one
up to begin with.
I feel like it built up a little bit quicker, but maybe not. But it still builds.
Yeah, it's fine. It's totally usable.
This one is Limoncello, and this has... Actually, I reckon that almost has better pigmentation than it did on Finger Swatch.
Because it was pretty shit.
It was terrible. Still pretty shit.
Not much has changed.
No. Over the glitter glue primer. Yeah, not much has changed.
Yeah.
It held up well, it looks like. The same. And finally, Xena. We know that this is much more firmly pressed because it looks like it's lost product in the pan, so it looks smaller in the pan, but it's swatched really nicely with a brush. It's still a little bit powdery.
That's fine.
That's beautiful. That's repressed so nicely.
Possibly even better.
That's gorgeous.
Alright, that's alright. Shimmer's a poop.
Yeah, the shimmers are a bit sad. While we're here for shits and giggles, can I just do this? Because people have been saying exotic is no good too.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's just that they're sealing. There's too much silicone or oils or something.
Yeah, like the dimethicone, or it just doesn't mix with the pigment. I don't know. But yeah, I like... These are the interesting shades in the palette. You want them to perform.
That's nice.
Wow,
The mattes are nice.
That's so nice.
It's a shame their shimmers are so crap.
It's gone on really like smooth and
even.
Yeah.
So even though you're getting less product in the mattes,
well,
at least they're usable.
Yeah, very true. Alright guys, so that's it for us today. We hope you enjoyed this video, and we hope you learned something. We feel like we learned a lot, which was great. So give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and by popular request, you'll see this guy next week.